Do you remember the Toxic Avenger remake or whatever that was supposed to come out like a couple of years ago?
Vaguely, yeah.
As like there was like clips of Elijah Wood and whatnot. Like it's finally actually being released.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's an actual trailer on IMDb for the Toxic Avenger. Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon's in it. Excuse me. And he looks like he's playing the same bad guy that he played in the movie Super. Remember that with Rainn Wilson?
No,
Elliot Page.
I've actually never sat through it.
Oh, really? I don't know. I don't think you would like it.
That's why I never sat through it. Yeah, I didn't really care for it that much.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. But this Toxic, I'm so stoked for Toxic Avenger. Like, it's, my childhood had that.
When's it supposed to come out?
I just saw that it was finally being released, and Elijah Wood was promoting it, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because he plays like a really gross looking villain in it too. So, are you looking it up? It technically, so it's the same people same like producer or distributors of Terrifier series. So like it's been I forget why it was shelved, but it was shelved for a minute. But now it's, yeah.
Oh, it was made in 2023.
Yes.
And then, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's been like
Just
chilling.
chilling.
Kind of like it was looking like it was going to be like that early 90s Fantastic Four movie that just got shelved and never released. And now you can watch in parts on YouTube somehow.
Yeah. Wait, it's supposed to... Well, this says officially August 29th.
Sick.
So it's like right around the corner.
Right when I'm not going to be around. That's Labor Day weekend, I want to say. When are you ready to do this?
Yeah, this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We are a movie review podcast. We're two long-term friends that have been been talking about movies forever.
Playing the movie.
We now do a show. We talk about movies, who made them, who's in them, kind of go over some themes and ideas of them, give them an arbitrary rating at the end, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So welcome back.
Well, or welcome first.
At the beginning of each episode, at the end of each episode, we play a game, Connect the Stars, where we pick two actors and find a connection between the two of them via titles and other co-stars they've been in. And last week, if you listened, was Jennifer Aniston to John Cho.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
I actually found it pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I thought. I was struggling, and then it's always like the day of, like in the morning, I'm just like pulling it out. Excuse me. I got Jennifer Aniston in We're the Millers with Ed Helms. Ed Helms in the Vacation remake, which has Chris Hemsworth in it and a cameo or small bit role. And Chris Hemsworth is in Star Trek with John Cho.
Mine was Jennifer Aniston is in Horrible Bosses 2 with Chris Pine. Chris Pine is in Star Trek.
Chris Pine is in Horrible Bosses 2?
Yeah, he's one of the
I've never seen the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is he one of the horrible bosses? Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Oh yeah, that's boom right there. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I
didn't realize that Jennifer Aniston was in the second one because she's one of the horrible bosses in the first one. Is she still a horrible boss in this one?
Mm-hmm. She's the only one that comes back because
I wonder why.
Colin Farrell dies, and no, Kevin Spacey's in it.
What?
Yeah, but he's in jail. He got arrested in the first one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's in it for a minute.
Huh. Is she like in cahoots with the people?
No, she's just kind of a...
Is it like a bit role?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just bringing her...
hotness?
Yeah, back. Her
crazy
sex
Crazy
addiction.
dentist hotness.
Like, there's like a sex anonymous meeting she's in.
Oh.
I can't really remember.
I mean, it's been playing on whatever stream, whatever. I might as well just sit down and watch it.
Yeah, it's
just there.
Yeah, I mean, because it's Chris Pine and the Jew hunter. What's his name?
Oh, Christopher Waltz.
Yeah, Christopher Waltz. He's the other horrible boss.
Oh, okay.
It's the same shit. It's different.
Is Jamie Foxx in it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just rehashing the first one.
Yeah, they're like, we have a formula. Let's just do it again.
Yeah, it
I
works.
mean, that's what a lot of those comedy sequels end up doing anyway. All right. Well, at the end of the episode, we'll bring up 2 new stars, and then next week we will have another weird conversation like this.
But yeah, welcome now to episode 248. We decided to do like a little dystopian block of movies that are very renowned that we hadn't seen, starting with 1985's Brazil.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I'm conflicted.
Me too.
Because I think the film nerd in me feels like I should like this movie.
But you don't.
But I didn't not like it.
I didn't like it.
I felt like I could see like in 1985 people be like, yeah. But I think we're 40 years out. We're now living in that dystopic future in a weird way. In an idealized, in not at all really, but you know what I mean.
I just think that it's kind of like the conversation about 28 Days Later. Now these things have become tropey.
Yeah.
But they've been done better now.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to look back on it. And because
I can appreciate this film for like what it was, for its absurdism and whatnot, you know. But yeah, it's dated. Yeah.
Yeah. And it overstays its welcome.
Very much so. And I think that's the 80s pacing in general.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that don't know, Brazil, a quick little synopsis, is an employee of a dysfunctional dystopian bureaucracy, becomes disillusioned. Excuse me, sorry. I can't read my writing. Oh, okay, yeah. Disillusioned after a clerical error brings to light the broken system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it's about. And it's very...
That's a very...
ludicrous.
Yeah. Oh, it's so absurd.
Yeah. Movie.
Like the extremes that it goes within every direction.
I mean, I'll give it credit where credit's due. I don't know. It's kind of like the little details in the little world building are pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But then does the love story thing. Anyways, but yeah.
The love story, yeah. And again, that's where the 80s really comes through.
So before we get into actually talking about the movie, this was released February 20th in France, then followed in the February 22nd in the UK, then finally December 18th, 1985 in the US.
Mm-hmm.
How many movies did you see this year?
I counted around 23.
I got 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very low.
Well, I feel like the 80s is a little bit more of my cup of tea.
Well, I've seen the ones, you know.
Yeah.
And the couple that we have reviewed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Enemy Mine, Star Chaser, Legend of Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like those ones. But then, like, you know, like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Out of Africa, Cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
Goonies. Like those ones I've seen. The ones are, you know, kind of have to.
Yeah. And I have a lot more that are deeper on in the list. There.
Like a lot of them I didn't even hear of. And a lot of them have made full circle where they're titles of other movies. I clicked on them and I was like, have I seen? I don't remember that being 85. I'm like, oh no, it's not.
It's
just
not.
a very generic title.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, this movie was directed and written, once again, more writers. Directed by Terry Gilliam.
One of the Monty Python crew.
Yeah, who we have done.
What have we done?
The Brothers Grimm.
Oh, yeah.
He directed The Brothers Grimm.
I thought he wrote that. Did he direct that too?
He directed it, yeah.
Oh.
Unless I was looking at the wrong part of it. But, yeah, I was like, oh, shit. I completely forgot about that. But now that we've watched Brazil, I kind of want to go farther back in time. Not do a review, but I do want to watch Time Bandits.
I want to review that.
You want to review Time Bandits?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Time Bandits.
You've seen it?
Time Bandits?
Yeah, 1981, Terry Gilliam?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my childhood movies. That's one I watched all the time. I love that movie.
It's one of those movies.
Go ahead, sorry.
It's one of those movies that so many people in Hollywood credit as like one of their biggest influences that I'm really curious about.
Well, because I mean, I was even reading too that this Time Bandits and one other one, I can't remember what it is now. So
I think I have it written down. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Yeah, or like this trilogy of his, like his what is the Simon Pegg, Nick Frost one? The Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
I thought that was Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that trilogy called?
Oh, I don't know, some type of pastry.
something that fucking nailing it right now. Yeah, but it's this idea of these 3 movies. Now I've seen 2 out of the 3, so I have to see the third one. But Time Bandits, if I think is probably one of Terry Gilliam's best movies.
Yeah.
Because of the religious aspect to it.
Okay.
There is like this
commentary on religion.
Kind of, yeah, this higher power thing, and these people, these little people that have this map of time kind of work for him.
Interesting.
And he's like this Zordon giant floating head that is just chasing them through time, trying to get back the map that they stole from him.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
Yeah, basically. And they keep going, it's him, and it's really tense. It's one of those kind of like kids movies. It's really creepy and weird. And then the devil character is this, I don't know, Hellraiser cybernetic devil.
Okay, don't spoil too much.
That's not, no, but I'm just saying these two.
Now I kind of really want to walk into this.
No, but these are the two like opposing forces, and it's an interesting commentary. But I think compared to this one, I think that one's better.
I mean, so I've heard that Time Bandits is like his best film.
Yeah, that movie's great.
And a lot of people talk about this film, just this one, Brazil, being so unique just because of how wild it gets. And he's pretty much doing like 1984 and a half. George Orwell's 1984, you know?
Well, wasn't that a working title that they were?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's why, yeah. But I'm actually kind of curious. Do you consider the Monty Python movies at all, like, because they're directed by him and the other people, like a Terry Gilliam work? Or do you consider that more of like that, since it's all of them, it's its like own separate pocket?
I would consider its own pocket, the Monty Python stuff, because they were just, they're a group, they're a team of things. And, you know, and watching any of those, you can almost see who did what.
Yeah, that's fair.
And who had
depending
more,
on the joke, like
the more influence
about
it, you know. And then so it's like you can kind of tell who threw out the idea, and then they kind of tweaked it, you know. But I mean, it has to be Time Bandits or Holy Grail are probably, I think, two of the best.
Terry Gilliam's works.
I mean, Dr. Parnassus, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus is cool.
I remember it being really boring.
But that's the thing. It's kind of boring, and then it has this weird levity to it because of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And how they had to change the ending so drastically.
Well, was it the ending they had to change, or was it just them doing Colin Farrell, Jude Law, and Johnny Depp?
Changed the ending because then he wasn't in it, because it was now all, I think, who's the final form? Johnny Depp?
I think it was Johnny Depp.
It was Johnny Depp or Colin Farrell. Jude Law was the first one.
I thought Colin Farrell was first. It doesn't matter. It was one of them.
It was one of them. But yeah, that just changed the trajectory of the movie a lot. And it's also like any movie where you're like leading one of your leading people has died before finishing, just has a weird vibe to it.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I mean, Tom Waits as Satan was cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking fitting.
I haven't watched a movie since it came out in the theaters, so
I've only seen it maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Visually, it's cool.
But I mean, Terry Gilliam's work is pretty all over the place.
12 Monkeys. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, he directed 12 Monkeys.
That's fucking wild.
He directed Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Also wild.
Yeah.
Weird. He's a weird...
He's a weird dude.
But once you see it, you see it.
Yeah, right?
Like, 12 Monkeys, like, the only reason I really like that movie is because of Brad Pitt. He's in the movie like 15 minutes. I don't remember
that movie. That movie is pretty serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very... I mean... I guess when you get into the future, you know, it's a whole time travel thing. The future is weird, and that's when you really see the Terry Gilliam. Actually, not thinking about it.
Okay. Because, like, would you say that this movie is really serious? Brazil?
In a dark comedy way, I would say 12 Monkeys is not a dark comedy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like, there's a scene in 12 Monkeys where Bruce Willis comes back into the future or the present, I guess. Or
I don't think I've seen 12 Monkeys actually all the way through,
but. He's laying there, and, he's sitting there and he's looking at like the sunset of Hawaii or something, this tropical thing, and this music is playing, and you realize he's in this kind of weird doctor's office waiting room.
Oh yeah,
and there's a bunch of scientists just singing to him, very Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
And then you realize, he's back in this future present.
Yeah.
You know, like he's back in this dystopian world again. Okay, so now we're gonna, but yeah, they're like singing fucking Blue Hawaiian or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember what they're singing, but he's like, and even he's like, Priscilla's like,
the fuck
the hell's going on? But yeah, that part's very Terry Gilliam. And then Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, that whole movie is just Terry Gilliam on acid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swim right now, you're going to sink like a fucking stone. Kids, stop here. This is a bad country.
All right. So let's move forward and just, I guess, mentioning the other writers. There was a fourth writer. I forgot to write their name. That
Charles Alverson.
Yeah, that didn't get credit for it. And Terry Gilliam. Terry Gilliam sounds kind of like an asshole.
He seems like a huge prick.
Yeah.
Very problematic.
Denying that someone worked on something, and then Alverson showing documentation like, no, I fucking did. And Gilliam's like, all right, yeah, he did.
He sounds like a drunk.
He probably is. Yeah.
Well, because like even there's something about, I was reading that when they're the original titles for this movie, and he was saying this and that about different titles.
Oh, then he refused.
And then he like is like, no, I didn't. And you're like,
we have the interview, bro.
Yeah, you were interviewed, and you said that in an interview, and he's like, no, I didn't. You're like, a little too much of the sauce there, my guy. And this is all wild speculation. I do not want to claim anything about Terry Gilliam. I'm just saying from these little bits that I read today and yesterday, it just sounds like the dude just making shit up as he goes.
And he is successful with it.
Yeah, like, he makes good movies. So,
but we got on writers as well, Tom Stoppard, who I know more through theater. He's a playwright as well. Probably his biggest thing that he ever did was Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which was a 1960s play turned into a 1990s movie with Tim Roth and Gary Oldman. And he also wrote Shakespeare in Love, which I've never seen, and now I'm curious why it has such acclaim.
Yeah, that one has been around for a while.
And also I didn't know it was Tom Stoppard, which weirdly knowing that it was Tom Stoppard kind of makes me want to watch it now. Because Tom Stoppard, I mean, Arcadia is a great play. He's just one of the well-known, like, I forget the term. I guess it was like, at school, it was like modern playwrights, like new modern or whatever, because from like the 60s through the 90s and whatnot, 2000s as well. And then we got our last writer, I got Charles McKeow, who's more of an actor, and all of his writing credits seem to be working with Terry Gilliam as well, because he's got writing credit on Imaginary Dr. Parnassus and The Adventures of Baron Munchausen as well.
And a couple other Monty Python projects.
Yeah.
Like Faulty Towers, which is actually pretty funny. If you've ever never seen that. It's John Cleese's show.
So Charles McKeow isn't a Monty Python member at all.
No, but he seems like a collaborator.
Yeah.
Like
he's
in this movie.
Yeah, he plays
the next door
Bruce Lime or something.
Something like that. Something Lime.
Yeah.
Arthur Lime.
No, it wasn't Arthur. But it was a callback to an actual character from another like dystopic novel I know. Well, who do we got starring in this?
A lot of people.
I really think I was gonna like stick it just to our male and female lead, and then just kind of do a shout out for everyone else.
So our male lead is John Pryce, Sam Lowry, who we've also done in Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, but I don't remember him in Brothers Grimm.
He's the French bad guy.
Oh, damn.
the
total
psycho.
Yeah.
He's really great in that, actually. He's probably, him and, what's his name? Peter Straudmeyer are probably like the best things about that movie.
Yeah, man. You know what's
the Grimmy.
I just never remember that movie, really.
I love that movie. I'm sure.
I know you. Yeah, you have a
nostalgic thing for it.
And then he's also in Game of Thrones. He's the
the
Sparrow. Yeah, and I completely forgot that he's in Pirates.
Yeah, he's kind of weirdly transformative.
Yeah, and what's funny is like he's kind of like watching this. I made that comment. I was like, I didn't realize how much of a physical actor he was. Thinking back in Pirates, he's so physical. He's just crawling around.
It feels like an English thing of this era.
Yeah.
Like a Mr. Bean, Monty Python, all those guys.
Like everyone's gone through mime school.
Yeah, they're all very physical.
Very clown-esque, which is like, I mean, that's my that's my cup of tea right there, you know?
Yeah, because even all of Monty Python is very animated. And
it's either animated or it's all the dialogue.
Yeah, like Serious Dickus. Is that what he said?
They're trying not to laugh.
Yeah, like shit like that. But just get the cameras close to their face as physically possible without touching them.
Something wrong with the name Sirius Dickinus?
Yeah. Told them they'd be fired if they laugh. That shit, that is one of my favorite Monty Python trivias. That is so funny to do.
What do you mean trivias?
Just little facts about them and the way they did their thing. Like going up to the extras and being like, hey, if you laugh during this, you will not get paid and you will get fired. And then trying actively to make them laugh, to make them break. That's really funny. Like, hey, let's have fun. Let's have fun with them. I don't know. Yeah, but that's John Pryce.
Tommy likes toxic workplaces.
That's not that bad. There's definitely
They're probably not going to, if they did break, they probably didn't fire them.
No, of course. No, of course they did. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're not actually going to fire him. They just wanted to see what would happen on camera. And it was hilarious. I don't think they fired him. Watch, they totally fired him. Watch, I'm totally wrong. Someone's going to comment. I've done no research on that. I just assume that'd be fucking insane to actually fire them.
It would be. But I mean, they also had the power to do that.
Fucking Harvey Weinstein comes out. Get rid of him!
It would just be one of the other Python members on the side. Like, he broke!
And then our female lead is Kim Greist, who plays Jill.
Who I actually do remember her as the mom in Homeward Bound.
I don't. She kept reminding me of someone. She kept
Jan from The Office.
No. What is something she's in really quick? She's in Hot. Oh, that's gonna be hard to find her or not.
The actress that you're thinking of?
Dinner for Schmucks. The woman that's obsessed with Paul Rudd.
Oh, what is her name?
The English.
She's
blonde.
also remember what's that movie? We got to get Barry.
Yeah.
Get Barry.
Find somebody for Barry. Or
Yeah.
Lucy Punch.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Lucy Punch.
I can kind of see that.
That movie is funny. The one you just mentioned that we can't remember the title of.
Find someone for Barry or something.
Better Off Barry.
Yeah. Better Off Barry.
Someone Marry Barry.
Yeah.
God, that movie's actually, I remember that movie being really funny.
It's not PC.
Of course it's not. It's 2014. Yeah. But also, whatever happened to Tyler Labine? He was kind of felt like he was.
I feel like he started doing like his TV show and then kind of fell off.
Because he was funny. Like
he was.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, yeah.
He's funny. Yeah. And he was really funny in that. It's just a total piece of shit.
Yeah. He's just a slob.
Yeah. He's just a fucking. Okay. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kim Greist, Homeward Bound is the mom, and she's also in Throw Mama Off from the Train, which I kind of want to do as well at some point because I want to do a Billy Crystal movie.
Oh. We could each pick a Billy Crystal movie.
Yeah.
Then I want to do City Slickers.
City Slickers?
That movie popped in my head yesterday. I always, it's one of those movies that I always think about the fight scene between Phil and his wife at his birthday party.
Yeah.
Because that shit, it just kills me. It's his night to play poker with the other Nazis. Like, it's such a great.
He was like Daniel Stern's freakouts.
I just like a good freak out, like Rocco from Boondock State, like any solid like funny freak out. I'm like,
I will blow my fucking brains off if you can tell me the name of that cat.
Oh, what color was it? Yeah, that shit was okay.
We got also starring in this. We'll go quickly. Surprisingly, Robert De Niro.
That was
out of no.
I just heard his voice and I was like,
what the fuck?
What is he doing here?
And then Ian Holm, who we just did.
Is he our only American? Oh, I guess no. Also, Kim is, right?
I think Kim was British American.
Okay.
I mean, but yeah. And then we got Bob Hoskins as a bit role in it, and Michael Palin from the Monty Python crew as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Hoskins, who we did in Super Mario Brothers.
Have we done Ian Holm?
Yeah, I just said last week with Garden State.
Oh yeah.
And I think this is our first Robert De Niro movie.
No.
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think we've done De Niro, which would kind of make sense because I feel like we do try to avoid generally like really, really highly acclaimed movies, and he's really only in very highly acclaimed movies. He's like one of the most highly acclaimed actors of all time. You know?
Yeah. Peter Vaughan, another Game of Thrones person.
Oh, who was he in this?
The boss in the wheelchair.
Oh.
And Jim Broadbent, which I just thought was funny because I like Jim Broadbent. He was the doctor. the plastic surgeon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
borrowers.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like playing the game. Who's been in Game of Thrones, especially in the English world? Who's been in Game of Thrones and who's been in Harry Potter?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he's Harry Potter and Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
I found it just really interesting, just to weirdly point out, is that the design of the like officers in this, when I was watching, I was like, wow, they really look like the Goombas from Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, the like soldier people?
Yeah. And then reading, apparently Super Mario Brothers took a lot of inspiration from Brazil for their like character design and like world design and whatnot. And
I see that, but also
interesting.
It also reminded me a lot of Tim Burton's Gotham.
Yes, actually, I read that when the production design people that for that Batman movie watched this movie for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this movie has like a history of a huge amount of inspiration as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, again, like we watched this because of its like its film notoriety. And now we're going to not enjoy it. Anywho, let's get into reviews. Are you ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So IMDb, this has got a 7.8 rating. And then on the Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 98% tomato meter and a 90% popcorn. And I'm very curious from 1985 or what kind of reviews you were able to find.
Well, we're wrong off the bat because it has an 84, which comes to universal acclaim with 15 positive, 3 mixed, and 0 negative.
Well,
so we not liking it, we're the odd men's out.
Well, we're also saying that we didn't really enjoy it because it feels old and dated.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still like a movie and
old and dated. But I mean, also, like, yeah, but I already said, like, I have the respect for what it came out at the time. We've just seen this too many times now because it's so old. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's hear the reviews. Because I'm guessing these reviews are from more or less when it came out as well.
Some yes, some no.
Okay.
Chicago Reader with 100. By Dave Kerr. A ferociously creative 1985 black comedy filled with the wild tonal contrast, swarming details, and unfettered visual invention. Every shot carries a charge of surprise and delight.
Did you get it? Yeah. Yeah. I could see that for the times. Is that it? That's from when it came out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This came out a year. This was written a year afterwards. Well, I guess it was in February, so it was right after.
Mm-hmm.
40 by Stanley Kaufman at the New Republic. Brazil doesn't. This is the mixed. Brazil doesn't add up to much, not only because its cautionary tales are familiar, but because it has no real point of view. Nothing urgent under its fussy symbols, and the story winds on and looking for a finish. 3 or 4 times I reached for my coat prematurely. And I thought that one kind of hit on the head.
Oh, that's interesting because I can see, I mean, that's definitely the feeling of it. Because what I really feel that's happening in here is it's not only just like this dystopic idea of, loss of identity and like, oppression through government and whatnot. But even like that just seems like such a minor part inside of it. It's weirdly as well, even though it's so prevalent through the entire story. But everything is kind of a subversion of itself as well. Like our lead character is, instead of thriving to want to like achieve a dream, he's fighting against having a dream or having something more. Because he says at the very beginning, he's like, I don't have any dreams. I don't have any aspirations, even though he's constantly dreaming. And then it takes the woman. Then all of a sudden he's flips as a character and is just nutty over the girl and has like no couth around her at all. It's just, it subverts everything that we know about like a main character as well. It's like, that's where I'm like, I find like a lot of appreciation in this, is that I think it's very clever in subverting so many different genres into one big film. But since it is in this 80s package, it's kind of hard to sit through.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have another review, or do you have thoughts with that?
No, that was all.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they all kind of
say the same thing.
Yeah, and they all just praise it or I mean, actually, I didn't even look for him.
Look for Ebert. Huh?
I'm just kind of curious what he had to say. I read him, but I didn't notice which one was his. He had to write a review. He didn't. That's crazy.
This might have been like right before he was doing that a lot more. I don't know when Roger Ebert actually started.
Oh, here he is. Oh, he's one of the mixed.
Okay.
I assumed he was going to be one of the positives. So Robert Ebert gave it a 50. Perhaps it's not supposed to be clear. Perhaps the movie's air of confusion is part of its paranoid vision. There are individual moments that create sharp images, shock troops drilling holes through the ceiling, De Niro wrestling with the almost obscene wiring and tubing inside a wall, the movie's obsession with bizarre ductwork, but there seems to be no sure hand at the controls.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate.
And there he is, coming in with the save.
And what's interesting is the very beginning of that. Read the very beginning of that one again.
Perhaps it's not supposed to be clear. Perhaps the movie's air of confusion is part of its paranoid vision.
And I think that's exactly what it is. I feel like Terry Gilliam is purposefully not giving us everything to make a point that it's like by not giving us enough of a metaphor or anything, it's just making it a reality, but it doesn't feel like it's making commentary, but then it is by not making the commentary. Does that make sense?
Well, I think it's just I don't know. It's like when even I mentioned this reminds me of We Happy Few. Mm-hmm. It's like it also, this particular genre of medium just has blended itself better now. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, We Happy Few being a dystopian English dystopian drug-fueled consumer world.
Yes.
That you are actually now playing through and exploring. You are Sam Lowry, basically. You even work. Actually, I forgot about that. You even work for them. You work at the information center in that game. I forgot about that. You redact. That's your job.
Oh, yeah.
You redact and you stop taking your happy pills and then you start seeing the world for what it really is. Mm-hmm. Or BioShock or anything like that. So I think that's, give credit where credit's due, to go back and be like, this is what started it all, which it didn't. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, people use this as a credit for inspiration.
Maybe kind of like similar to 28 Days Later. It revitalized it, maybe.
Yeah.
Or it made it maybe more commonplace. Oh, I don't know. Because obviously George Orwell's 1984 came out in 1949.
Like, if I'm going to watch a dystopian movie, I have other ones I'd watch.
Yeah.
Like, I would read or watch Animal Farm. I fucking love Animal Farm. Yeah. That is one of my favorite books of all time. I think it's very funny. Not like ha-ha funny, but like...
But it's,
But I find
animals.
Find it really enjoyable. And
Animal Mussolini.
Like, I just remember it being, I was reading that in school and the first time really getting it. Going, oh,
yeah.
That's okay. This is a very digestible fascist regime to understand.
It's interesting because I feel like also in 1985, this movie was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
but that's the thing. I think it's even for its time, it's too grandioso. It's too much.
Yeah. And then maybe that's probably why it has this big hit or miss for people. Because this is also one of those, from people that have watched it, either really, really like it or they're just like, I didn't get it.
And I don't think that at all is like an intelligence thing. I think that's just how your brain is wired. Yeah. Like, even, with doing this, I think that I probably would have enjoyed it more if we weren't reviewing it.
Fair.
I wouldn't have looked at it through this lens of, because it's like the duct thing. What is the duct thing?
I really just think that was Terry Gilliam or Tom Stoppard, someone just being like, what would be a weird thing that they would be obsessed with for decoration?
Exactly.
Ducks. Well, let's just make it, and it was just a choice, and it says nothing other than the absurdity of what people in the future will find interesting.
Yeah, but it's like that's the fifth element of it all.
Yeah.
But this movie, I don't know, but it's a different movie. Fifth Element is that's what it is. Fifth Element is a fantasy movie. Yeah. And there is this dystopian element to it, but it's a fantasy. It's this parallel Earth far off in the future.
Well, it's also an adventure to save
Save the planet Earth. It's
as opposed to this like this.
We're doomed. We're all doomed. We're forever doomed.
This
we are
investigation
sheep.
into the human mind, and
we are sheep.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny that we watched this and then went and saw Randy Feltface. That's kind of funny.
I very much so. Yeah. Did you weren't piecing that together yesterday?
They were just two completely different parts of my brain activating.
That's totally fine. I get it. But like, because this movie, it's so weird how it builds the story for Sam, and what we get is his complete like breakdown, essentially, and like the very end of this movie, when it gets so surreal and it's like he's like falling through his own mind is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of the strangest moments, like, 'cause it just comes out of nowhere, and then you're taken back into the reality, and you're like, oh, and it almost felt very like Requiem for a Dream-esque.
Well, I was gonna ask, why does it work for Clockwork Orange but it doesn't work for this? The absurdity, and like Clockwork Orange, I can really accept the milk bars with the LSD. I'm like, okay, yeah, but then I have a problem with the ducks, and I can't figure out what about it. Maybe that's the answer. Because the milk bars with the LSD is an explanation to why the world is so loopy doopy weird and people are doing these weird things. The ducks are what you just said. The ducks.
Yeah.
They're in there.
And we're saying ducks, like D-U-C-T, like air.
No, I'm talking
ducks.
about ducks.
Oh, what about the ducks?
Nothing. I just wanted to fucking throw you through a loop.
Oh, I was like,
we're talking about
where did I miss?
Where were ducks? No, not ducks. Ducks. There, it's all the ducks' fault, not the bananas.
Fucking bananas. Jesus Christ.
I wish I'd worn that shirt now.
Because his and also it makes it a kind of a full circle thing too, is that if this whole thing is for Sam and his journey, his denial of wanting to dream and have anything, he's like, I don't dream, I don't have anything that I desire more, and yet he's continually dreaming of saving this woman, and then at the end of it, he finds solace being trapped in his own mind in a dream state,
Mm-hmm.
which then makes social commentary on we would rather just pretend to live in our own perfect world rather than face the reality of what we are actually in.
Yeah, I mean, that's Cypher's whole point in The Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. The Matrix. Yeah. 15 years later. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of what it is like, and that's what I was saying, is like, I can appreciate this movie for what it was doing at the time, and still, because the things that it's saying are still relevant. But again, it's like we've had so many other retellings of this idea or metaphors in so many different ways that I feel like that you said it have just been better executed, or maybe not better executed, like executed
differently. I wouldn't say better.
Maybe not even different. Yeah, differently, but more flushed out.
What I think too, now with the whole Monty Python in mind, I think that if he had gotten a couple more Monty Python people on this, because I started thinking about Monty Python just as a whole and their movies, Life of Brian, all Holy Grail, all that kind of stuff, and with those movies, the through line doesn't really fucking matter. Not really.
Not necessarily, no.
Not really.
The only one that kind of has the most through line, I would say, is Life of Brian.
Yeah, but even like Monty Python they're trying to get the Grail, a tale of old as time.
Holy Grail,
yeah. Like a lot of people know that story. It's not anything, not reinventing the wheel. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is the escapades that they're getting to. It's kind of thing about this. Like in this movie, there are, just like Monty Python, skits. There are little skits that are happening throughout, like the dinner with the
mom
mothers
and the friend. Yeah.
Yeah, the like that's a little skit. And
Or
then there's this
in his office when he's fighting with the table.
yeah, or when he goes and has a conversation with his best bud that you find out is the interrogator that fucking tortures people, and they're having this really nonchalant little back and forth, and he's like talking to his child in a baby voice about these horrible things he does. Very Gestapo kind of like Inglourious Bastards kind of shit.
Even the Ian Holm can't sign. He's like, my wrist. Can you sign it for me?
And it's like that. Those moments are good in the sense of a Monty Python thing. So I think what kind of becomes its detriment is the through line, because even then it would kind of been more interesting to just watch Sam's
descent into madness,
finally breaking from this world. And almost like nothing against the woman, what's her name? Kim
Greist.
Yeah, nothing against Kim Greist, but it's just like her
Jane, is that her name?
Jill. Jack and Jill. Is that his name? Is that his name Jack? Sam? Isn't there a Jack? I don't know. Thought there was a Jack in here.
Buttle? Tuttle.
Buttle Tuttle. That was really confusing to me. I gotta get confused on that. Like which one? I don't remember which one's. Anyways,
they were searching for a bunch of Tuttles, and one printed out as Buttle.
Right.
The one error in the system.
Yeah, the clerical error. The through line with this whole that just felt really half baked. Like it kind of felt like, well, we need to get him out of the Matrix. How are we gonna do that? A girl.
Yeah.
Pussy, like just Terry Gilliam, like
yeah, women.
Yeah. So that's what it feels, and that's what it felt like. It just felt like it didn't. The through line is because it would have just kind of been interesting to watch the descent of this finally breaking from this, which is what happens. But it's that, it's.
I mean, it is.
The outcome is what I wanted, but I didn't like how we got there.
Yeah, and I guess the whole thing is, he becomes completely obsessed over this woman just because of it.
Which you would.
Because you've been dreaming about her and all of a sudden you see her in real life?
Yeah. You have a reoccurring specific dream.
Yeah. Of saving her.
Of being a flying Icarus battling
a
samurai robot monster thing. And you finally see her. I was like, there was a moment I was like, this is bullshit. But then I was like, that works because, if you were having a reoccurring dream of the same woman that you've never met before and you see her.
Kind of the thing about Sam's character as well in this subversion of like of a hero character and hero's journey is everything that he does is kind of to an extreme as well. Lending into the absurdist part of this narrative is he's your everyman who generally your everyman in these stories wants to, get promoted. He's refusing promotions. And he doesn't want to have anything else. And then it's as soon as he sees the woman, he's so smitten, he can't function properly anymore. As opposed to you see the woman, you have like, maybe you fall in love, but then, generally in these movies, they're like a smooth talker or they're suave or some sort,
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like there's the weird film noir feel through this movie as it gets to it, where it's like as he falls into like his own like through all this stuff, he's almost like a detective, and they really like force that he's like changing his suit to look like Humphrey Bogart from like The Maltese Falcon or Casablanca, or it's actually it's crazy how much he looks like Jimmy Stewart in this movie as well.
Like a young Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah.
I don't really know what Jimmy Stewart looks like.
But.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, right?
Like the American version and the English version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they both kind of have very similar like acting styles as well, which is interesting. But it's his character, and that's the thing is that he has character shifts in this, which you generally don't have, which like just watching this movie, it's too many layers of deconstruction and subversion at some points. I feel that I could see where at the time people are like, wow, this is really like really testing it for the head of the time. But now people know how to like carefully navigate these sections of deconstruction and subversion and make a film that feels like it goes a good through line through it, like what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Because and it's like I do appreciate how what becomes the clear indication of he's not in a like the world isn't the same world that we were in anymore, or we're wondering what kind of world we have been in this entire time, is when Harry Tuttle gets eaten by the papers, pretty much disappears. And then he runs into the funeral, and then he falls through the casket, and all of a sudden it's just like it turns into this like weird like it's not even the same world that we were in, but we just kind of were wanting to accept like I guess this has been this world the entire time.
Well, it kind of ruins the big surprise that he's like fallen into the recesses of his own
catatonic state.
Yeah, because you're like that. Yeah, it's been obtuse and weird and odd this whole time, but it hasn't been like that. It hasn't been reality bending.
Yeah,
the reality has been very grounded. It's just an odd reality.
It's a very odd reality. Yeah, and it's clear. It's the moment that he enters that is when, obviously the torturing starts, but it's the gunshot. I thought it was very strange. It was like a gunshot to the head someone wouldn't slowly.
You could.
Fall and die like that.
You could.
Gunshot wound to the head, right in the middle of the head. Do you think so?
You could.
Yeah.
Depends on what got all fucked up. You could. People have gotten spikes through their eye socket into the back of their skull, and all that's happened is, well, it's kind of a dick now.
Yeah.
You could.
But I feel like that is...
You die?
Yeah. I feel like that is the clear entrance to following into like his perspective into like the catatonic mind.
Yeah.
With the first kind of like
his disassociation powers are great.
Yeah,
he did that so quick.
Right,
like drop of the hat, just fucking whoop. Nope,
I'm out of here.
Not dealing with that.
I'm gonna get saved by Jill.
No, thank you. I mean, credit where credit's due. It was an interesting movie, but it was long. It was too
well, and that's where I'm talking about. Like, it's 80s pacing. There's a lot of air in these bits in these moments that if it was let's say this got remade today or recut today, a lot of those bits would have been filmed in quicker moments with a lot more editing and quicker paced just stuff. Like key moment at the very beginning, the cleric hunting the fly. Very long, stagnant shot, looking up.
Yeah, that's the English Monty Python thing, though.
That's just also how things were filmed in the 80s as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying like specifically this group, because even then, like even it's little things too. Like when he says when Robert De Niro tells Sam to go check the corridor, and they actually show him checking the corridor, you're like, yeah, that wouldn't have made it.
Exactly.
You could have just had him pop his head out and then him come back in and be like, it's clear. But to have now, we've taken the time to shoot an aerial shot down of him coming out, looking around. And granted, it's only 10 seconds, 15 seconds at the most.
But I mean, that breath, that's a long breath.
That stuff adds up. And there's a lot of stuff like that.
There's in the car when he first gets into the car, the entire scene of him in her like truck, like convincing him that
to trust
him and whatnot is the pacing of that entire scene is so bad.
I haven't been so uninterested in a chase scene in a really long time.
Yeah,
I really didn't care. I was like, okay, maybe it's coming off of Furiosa.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's what I mean. Is like the pacing of this is such an 80s pacing. You know,
well, the car chases in Furiosa are dope.
Yeah, and that came out last year. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have any more else to say about this, really.
I don't either.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time finding like a good like rating for it, though.
I would say a 3.
Yeah? You want to just
say a 3.
Yeah.
It's middle ground. I don't think that offends anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's also like it gives it credit where credit's due.
I would say if we were to watch it when it came out, a 4.
I also think that I put it on again today because I had this thought of it's probably something that you would get more out of a couple times watching it.
Oh, I bet.
Catch more
Catch
things.
the little things in the background, yeah.
But I just think a 3 is a solid middle ground because it's obvious where how this inspired pop culture and media. And that's the thing too. A lot of these scenes, it got to a point where I thought maybe I have seen this, but no, I just saw a lot of the scenes.
You've seen a lot of people like do homage to it.
Well, like in the bureaucracy scene of like, and that was something I wanted to bring up. It was making jokes about things that just aren't a joke anymore, so that automatically just makes it
it's
not.
Like, oh, that's a reality now.
Yeah, like the whole ongoing joke about everyone being obsessed with their screens. Yeah, in 1985, you know, like having a screen, like she has a show playing in the living room and then a screen in the bathroom, and you could. I mean, that's at least how I took it. That's the joke, you know, because the camera goes from the living room TV. Obviously, oh, she's in the living room. Oh no, she's in the bathtub smoking a cigarette while watching the same show that's on 5 feet away.
And every screen has a it's like magnified. Like,
yeah, and
in your face,
you know, and then the whole bureaucracy scene where they're supposed to be working, and every time the boss Ian Holmes goes away, they turn back on to the John Wayne movie or whatever the hell it was playing.
Yeah,
and that's the joke. You know, the joke is that everyone is escaping into their screens. That's not really a joke anymore. So it doesn't land anymore because you're like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what it evolved into. Is everyone's hooked onto their screens. So some of the jokes just don't. Yeah. I've looked at my phone twice while recording this. Why? Don't know. Because it's a weird need. That's why usually I take it and I toss to throw it across the room.
You brought it when you were talking about that, something else came in my brain and I can't.
And that might be a thing with these dystopian things, is that, you know, they are saying a lot at the time, but
they're making social commentary on that moment in time of what people are referring as problematic or going to be a future problem, you know? And so when that becomes the actual future problem, you know, or maybe the actual future, maybe not problem.
Well, it's also this interesting conversation, though, because it's like every generation has, every period has this issue, you know? Like, you know, the kids today don't know how to read a map.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, but like, you're saying that, but jump back to when you were this age, what was, you know, your counterpart saying that you don't know how to do it's just an evolution of time. Things are going to be left to the wayside and new things are going to be learned. Like, I can do blank that you can't do, Grandpa. You know,
like use a computer.
Yeah, you know, or it's the same thing as like, you know,
why would I need to read a map when I can look it up on Google?
Or you know, like, and it's like, well, what if the system goes down? Then we're fucked. Me reading a map doesn't change the fact that a lot of shit's gonna, like, if the whole system just broke down overnight, it's not gonna be good. A lot of shit's gonna go down.
Yeah,
like a lot of bad shit.
Including your life support, Grandpa.
Yeah, like a lot of shit's gonna fucking hit the fan. But you know, but it's like, you know, even to not make it world ending, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, you don't know this new music. It's like, oh, do you know any David Bowie? No. Well, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, not specifically David Bowie, but I'm just saying, like,
you're now sounding like an old man.
People don't. I listen to a lot of new music. Well, I'm just saying it's like an example of, like, you know, this whole like dystopian, people are addicted to their screens. Oh no.
What do you feel like right now? A dystopic thing that we have that would be an exaggeration, you know, like
the screens,
like even more so. Like
maybe
because we're already, like you were saying, that it's like,
yeah,
in 1985 they're the screens, like
they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. We're now in that. That's the reality. What's the next level of that?
Oh,
what's our next level dystopic idea?
Those VR like life simulator things.
Oh yeah, like
I've watched videos of those and I can't wrap
Wall-E. And they're just in their own.
No, they're not.
They don't have a VR.
No, they're all in like.
That's right, and they're just like they have just multiple screens around them.
Yeah. They're just literally consumer machines.
Yeah.
On little floating lawn chairs.
Yeah.
No, like those. You know, those Second Life.
That isn't a bad future. It's like Wall-E is a good example, I feel like, of an idea of that. Like you're saying the VR thing.
Yeah, like Second Life simulator
Yeah.
things.
And you're literally plugging into a VR set to live in that reality
And then you
every
just-
morning.
Yeah.
There is a story with that. There's a couple.
Ready Player One.
Yes.
Chat GPT.
Yep. Yeah. Ready Player
That have you, dude? I've been reading some shit about Chat GPT.
One. Oh man.
Woo!
Let's get that.
Spiraling out. It is not good. I will never use that thing.
Yeah.
That thing. That is fucking Skynet. I don't care what anyone says. That shit is Skynet.
If it's Skynet, then you are using it and you don't realize it. You know what I mean?
Google AI.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that shit is just like, it's like, I'm not gonna get. Never mind. I'm not gonna. Not going down that rabbit hole on here. We can talk about that later off camera. I do not want to be quoted for all eternity. Whew. Filter.
I feel like, well, also, I feel like just kind of one last little thought with this dystopic thing is I feel like what dystopic has become for us now is more of a desolate thing. Like almost like post-apocalyptic-ish.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like,
Because I feel like what we fear now is World War III.
yeah, but I mean, every giant conflict has had that.
Exactly.
stigma
Yes.
on it,
But
you
I
know?
mean, it like now with I think there's just like there's a lot more world conflict right now in a lot of ways, and I think that's where our people are gonna. That's where like they've been writing stuff like that. You know.
I think a lot of what the dystopic thing is, and this isn't an original thought, but it's just technology in general. And I know that sounds really stupid, but it's like technology is evolving and moving at such a speed
Yeah.
that and I think I say that very, very from personal experience on showing my age on the like introduction of smartphones
Yeah.
and having the internet at your fingertips, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing with those things.
No.
We were children. Our parents, my parents, that age, didn't know what the hell they were doing because it was also so new to them, and they were adults at that point. They weren't. It's like now that I think now younger people, you know, are gonna have a different set of problems, but they're also gonna have a different set of skills, like I was talking about. But I think that the technology is just advancing in such a way that we can't keep up with it.
Technology is going to start creating its own technology.
It's like it's creating problems that we just are like, oh shit. And by the time that we kind of start getting a grasp on that,
There's
there's
problem.
another one.
Mhm.
And then the only thing that's going to help that is by using stuff like AI to help predict or fix whatever the problem is in that point. You know, it's just like it's this weird fucking domino spiral snowball effect. That's just what I think. I think that's what the big dystopian thing is. It's just as a species, we cannot keep up with the advancements that we're making.
That's the story. Put it on the idea board.
We just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Like mentally. I think as a
Yeah.
species we can, because I think we're fucking cockroaches and we will live through the fireball in the sky coming down. Dude,
I don't know.
and the Christopher Walken may not be a life worth living, but there's life up there. Fucking A, Chris.
Is that the prophecy?
Huh?
What is that? Christopher Walken?
Blast from the past.
Oh, okay.
When they hear people moving around and
right.
shit, he's like, you know, it's gonna be fucking Fallout. Like I know,
Yeah. They all turn into ghouls.
I fucking think humans are a very resilient species, and they will make it through. Unfortunately.
Fair. All right. So we gave this a 3.
Yeah, I think a 3. I think it's
All right.
fair because also that right there, that's kind of what this movie is. It starts these conversations.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what makes it interesting.
We all
That's
get stoned and start talking.
That's the
dystopian.
sign of a successful dystopian movie.
Yeah.
The
fair.
Matrix. This. Give me some more. I'm totally blanking.
Blasphemous Past.
That's not dystopian.
I know, I'm being an asshole. Dark City.
Yeah, like
Scanners.
That's actually that's a good way of describing it. Dystopian movie should be able to start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, A Scanner Darkly. Would that be dystopian? That's kind of dystopian.
I need to rewatch A Scanner Darkly, actually.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I thought it was.
Scanners definitely is.
Scanners is definitely. Book of Eli. I just looked
Yeah.
it up. Mad Max.
Yeah.
I never really think of it as dystopian because it's like it's so far gone.
It's almost like it's in that gray area between dystopic and post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Equilibrium. You can talk about how terrible that movie is.
Is that with Gung Fu?
Yes. And Christian Bale can't show emotions, yet somehow is showing emotions the entire movie. It's like, guys.
Who's the Morpheus in that?
The Morpheus?
Yeah. Like the
one that breaks him out of the
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
Is it?
Well, he's the first one to
Oh.
stop and he dies, obviously. It's a spoiler alert. It's Sean Bean, so he fucking dies. But yeah, he's the one that breaks him out.
It'd be funny to do a TV show with Sean Bean where he dies in every episode, like Kenny from South Park.
He doesn't actually die that much, though.
It's his most popular things that he's been in.
He dies. Yeah. The big things he's in, he dies. But everyone thinks it's like, no, who is it?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's someone else. I'll look it up later. But
Who dies all the
dies
time?
a lot. Yeah, the guy has like the most on-screen deaths, and it's not
Oh.
Sean Bean. Sean Bean's actually pretty low comparatively to other people. Like it's just all his most notable things he dies.
All right.
Starting with Boromir. That's not where it started. But
No, it's not where it
I think that one hit me the most. I tried to take the ring.
And then he protects the men, the little hobbit.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was Brazil. Gave it a 3 out of 5 out of weird.
I was really okay. Just last little thoughts. I was really reaching, trying to figure out the subversion and like metaphor that Terry Gilliam was doing, and like trying to figure out why it was named Brazil. And with its like weird, like kind of film noir Humphrey Bogart feel, I was like, is this him like subverting Casablanca in some weird fucking way? And that's why he's named it Brazil. Casablanca a place, Brazil a place. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Like, I feel like there may have been some type of feeling of that because of especially but Casablanca is not even a film noir. It's at all. So, but anywho, love letter to a subversion of 40s classics, I guess.
I mean, I like the song.
The Brazil song.
I like it.
I just really want to know why the movie's called Brazil.
I thought there was something about it in there, but I don't remember what.
I didn't get anything. But all right, who are we doing? Who are our tying together next week?
Well, I did the Connect the Stars.
Yeah.
We ran the thing, and I got Mark Wahlberg and Joe Pesci, but I feel like that might be too easy.
Yeah, you think so? We can switch it if you want.
Yeah, they're close knit in the crime movie.
It's going to be The Departed is probably going to be the connection.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? There's close.
Joe Pesci and Jack Nicholson ever been in a movie together?
Yes.
What movie?
The Gentleman.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, you're right. They're not The Gentleman. I was thinking of The Irishman, #1. I fucked up that entire thing. Everything about that. Utterly fucked it up.
Oh, hey, if you want to do another one.
Yeah, let's do another one. Rachel McAdams to Daniel Day-Lewis. Let's go.
Oh, wow. All right.
That sounds fun. Okay, so we're going to be connecting Rachel McAdams to Daniel Day-Lewis next week.
Jesus Christ.
If you can think of a good one, go ahead and put it in the comments.
Man. All right.
And then what are we doing next week? I don't remember.
We're doing Dr. Strangelove.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we might do the third one. Maybe we'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
We might be checked out.
I might. Yeah. And also that will actually document the oldest movie we have reviewed, 1964.
Damn, I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah. It's early Kubrick. Very early Kubrick. It's like his third film. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah. And this is going into our block was like this these critically acclaimed movies that we've both always wanted to watch and we've never watched before.
Yeah, so we're going to be checking them out because it's nice to go in with a clean slate.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. On there, all of our promos that will tell you what we have coming up on future episodes. Like, share those with your friends if they're also into movies. On those are the Linktree link where you can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We do have cameras set up if you like to watch.
That's a camera.
If you're just listening, there is also visual, not just audio. And I think that's everything. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's
Mixtape.
Bye, y'all.
Laters.